Today, we're diving into the darkest corners of this controversial combat sport. Warning, what you're about to witness isn't for the faint of heart. These moments remind us why Power Slap isn't just another combat sport. It's perhaps the most dangerous competition in modern athletics. In these shocking turn of events, what starts as another competitive match ends in unthinkable tragedy. These moments remind everyone of the raw, unforgiving nature of this sport. Let's jump right in. Number 10. Ryan Wallace versus Soren Kazma. Our countdown begins with a clash that proves why experience matters in Power Slap. Ryan Wallace entered this match with confidence, but Soren Kazma brought something else entirely: calculated devastation from years of competition in Romania. The match started with Wallace showing impressive power, delivering a strike that had Soren stunned in the first round, something few had done before. But Soren's corner knew something we didn't. Then, Soren delivered a strike that didn't just knock Wallace out. His lights were out before he even began falling. The slow-motion replay revealed the horrifying precision, perfect hand placement, devastating follow-through, and Wallace's eyes rolling back before his body went limp. It wasn't just a loss. It was a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in Power Slap. But if you thought that was intense, wait until you see what happened in our next moment. Number 9. Muraj versus Maras. At number 9, we witnessed a technical masterclass turn into a nightmare. Standing at 6 foot 6 inches and 49 years old, Muraj proved that age is just a number in Power Slap. The horror began early when Muraj appeared to injure his own arm. The cameras caught him wincing in pain after his own attack. Muraj's final strike was something out of a nightmare. The impact was so severe that Muraj's eyes rolled back like a B-level horror movie, as one commentator put it. But what made this moment truly terrifying was the lack of preparation for what happened next. Security wasn't ready for the knockout, leaving Muraj to fall dangerously close to hitting his head on the ground. The slow-motion replay showed the devastating impact in gruesome detail, with Muraj's face distorted from the force of the blow. But things only get more intense from here. Number 8. Vernon Cathy versus Amir. This match demonstrated why Power Slap isn't just about raw power. It's about precision and timing. The very first slap that made the opponent fall to the ground was from Cathy. Vernon Cathy delivered what commentators would later describe as a perfect storm. Even Dana White said it was the greatest slap of all time. The slow-motion replay revealed the horrifying precision of the strike, showing the exact moment Amir's consciousness left him. His eyes rolled back, and his body crumpled in a way that had even veteran officials visibly concerned. But wait until you see what happened when two titans collided in our next moment. Number 7. Vinesh Subramanian versus Cody Belal. Lucky Number 7 showcases a match that proved why mental preparation is just as crucial as physical power. The commentator's initial assessment of Subramanian's performance was brutally honest. That was one of the worst slaps I've ever seen. A newborn baby can slap harder. But Belal's response earned this match its place in our countdown. Coming to the table with ice in his veins, Belal delivered what can only be described as a thunderclap to Subramanian's face. The impact was so severe that Subramanian crashed face first into the padded desk, a sight that drew gasps from the crowd.
Namaste, baby!
Namaste, baby, Belal declared afterwards, but there was nothing peaceful about what had just transpired. This moment served as a stark reminder that in Power Slap, one mistake can lead to devastating consequences. Number 6. Danny Van Heerden versus Makini Manu. Moving into our top 6, we witnessed a match that redefined what devastating impact means in Power Slap. At 433 pounds, Manu was a mountain of muscle and determination. His training in the months leading up to this match had been more intense than ever, building what would seem like an impenetrable fortress of muscle around his neck and shoulders. The horror of this moment wasn't in the knockout, but in the disturbing aftermath of the slap. Blood began streaming from Manu's nose, a sight that immediately concerned officials. Despite his massive frame and seemingly unshakable exterior, the human body has its limits. The worst thing was that this slap hit his eye, which wasn't a big thing in the moment, but as the blood flowed, things got worse. Brace yourself, because our next moment takes brutality to new heights. Number 5. Dawid Zalewski versus the Crazy Hawaiian. This super heavyweight collision marked a historic moment in power slap history. The Crazy Hawaiian had been on an impressive run, but Zalewski was considered almost untouchable, a man who had never been shaken in his career. What made this moment particularly shocking was its progression. First, the Hawaiian did the unthinkable. He became the first person to visibly hurt Zalewski, the man who had taken down the legendary Russian dumpling. The crowd erupted, sensing they were witnessing history. But Zalewski's response was nothing short of terrifying. His retaliatory strike didn't just knock out the Hawaiian, it sent him crashing to the canvas with such force that even hardened veterans of the sport were taken aback. The sound of the impact was brutal. The next moment shows why experience doesn't always protect you from disaster. Number 4. Damian Dibble versus Dwayne Crespo. At number 4, we witnessed a match that proved why power slap is unlike any other combat sport. Crespo entered this bout with impressive credentials, ranking 4th in the slap mansion for human force at just 21 years old. His power was undeniable, but Dibble had something else in mind. The match began with both men trading heavy shots. Crespo's initial strikes were powerful enough to make lesser men crumble, but Dibble showed why he would become known as the Bell. His ability to absorb punishment was otherworldly. Then came the moment that would echo through power slap history. In round 2, Dibble unleashed what commentators would later call the slap heard round the world. But the next one is worse than this. Number 3. As we enter our top 3, the level of devastation reaches new heights. This match started like any other, but what followed would become one of power slap's most shocking moments. After the initial exchanges, Turpin delivered what appeared to be a technically sound strike. However, the impact was catastrophic. Hintz didn't just fall, his body went completely limp, creating one of the most disturbing visuals in the sport's history. He was lying down on the ground like a dead body. "Good night, Vienna," the commentator exclaimed, but the gravity of the situation quickly became apparent. The haunting words, "He doesn't know what day it is," echoed through the arena, emphasizing the severity of the knockout. But if you think that was intense, our next 2 moments will leave you speechless. Number 2. Kazma Simeon Sorin versus Gorzaika Alexandru. Our runner-up for the most horrifying moment showcases why Romania's power slap competitors are among the most feared in the sport. This all-Romanian clash would become a turning point in how people viewed the raw brutality of power slap. Sorin, already known for his devastating power, entered this match with an almost eerie calmness. The early exchanges showed his trademark precision, but as the match proceeded, things got worse. You can clearly see that the faces of both fighters were getting worse with each slap, but no one is giving up. Both of their faces are swollen, but Sorin is not in good condition. The word "give up" is actually not in his dictionary. The more he gets slapped, the worse it gets until his face is ground beef. This match is and will always remain the most horrifying match in slap championship history. But if you thought that was devastating, our number 1 moment changed power slap forever. Number 1. Artur Wallace Walczak versus Dawid Zalewski. At number 1, we have the most tragic moment in power slap history, a reminder that combat sports can have real life-altering consequences. Artur Walczak wasn't just another competitor. He was a decorated athlete with an impressive background in strongman competitions and MMA. On October 22, 2021, at Punchdown 5, what started as a regular match would end in unimaginable tragedy. After receiving a devastating strike from Zalewski, Walczak went down. Though paramedics were present, crucial time was lost waiting for an ambulance. Time that would prove precious. The 46-year-old athlete was rushed to the hospital, where he suffered a stroke and was placed in a medically induced coma. Tragically, Walczak never recovered, passing away on November 26, 2021, leaving behind a legacy that would forever change the sport. Which moment impacted you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.